Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first unit of our course, Unit 1. Hopefully, at this point, you've had a chance to see my previous podcast introducing the entire course and sort of walking through both our Moodle and WordPress sites. So today, what I wanted to focus on is just highlighting a couple of the things about Unit 1 that I would like you to pay attention to and kind of set you up to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go to our WordPress site now, minimize myself, and head right into Unit 1. So as you know now, because we went over the course site, the activities are highlighted in bullet form up at the top here, and then each activity is spelled out in detail with links to the kinds of things that you'll need to complete it. And overall, I would say that there's a lot of activities in this unit, lots of short activities, lots of different kinds of approaches coming at it. There's reading, there's doing Padlets, drafting a research question, and then it ends with a paper that you'll be writing that will, and hopefully all of the activities will feed forward into that paper. I do want to say that to go ahead and before you do anything in this unit, besides reviewing it, is just to start out with the reading. And I'm going to come over here on our Moodle site to the reading for this unit. And the primary reading are the two chapters of our textbook, which is Introduction to Educational Research. Quantitative, qualitative, and mixed research methods. And so you'll be reading two chapters there. And then there's an article here on self-directed learning and an ethics video. Now, under resources, these are not listed as required reading, but I'd encourage you to take a look at these. They do feed into some of the questions, and you might want to use them in the final essay assignment. And they're both videos. And this one literature review that was created by Deborah Zorns, the director of research at Royal Roads, and Elizabeth Child, our program director, does a nice job of briefly reviewing what a systematic literature review is, which you're going to need as you eventually as you head into your chosen exit from the program. Gray literature is also important because gray literature is an important research source, especially in the field of education. It informs policy, it informs lots of decision making, it underlies curriculum programs. And so you want to have a good grasp on what gray literature is all about. And these resources are videos, so they're pretty quick to review. All right, let me get back to our WordPress site now. Okay, and back to the overall schedule. And one of the things I did want to say is that as you work through the activities in Unit 1, do pay attention to the due dates, which are highlighted here or bolded here as you go through, so that you know, because it's not really said in the unit itself. So you want to go back to the schedule for that. So after you do the reading, you're going to do, just briefly, you're going to do a check-in using Padlet, which I believe you used in the link. But there's also instructions when you begin the activity. And you're just going to do a reflection on selecting some kind of an image that represents how you feel about your experience with research and academic writing to date at this point in your life. And then include a summary of why you chose that image. In the next activity, we're going to ask you to reflect on your own writing, academic writing, and we actually point you toward the Writing Center, so toward a couple resources that you can use there that are going to become very important just for completing assignment 1. how to write an academic paragraph, and citing resources using APA. Then we're going to ask you to select a couple more that you think would be helpful in honing your academic writing. In activity 3, we're going to ask you to, based on the readings that you've done and what you've reviewed so far online, we're going to ask you to blog about what 1 or 2 things that make a good research question. And we'll be collating those responses so that you will all have that table as a resource as you move forward in the program. In activity 4, you'll be addressing 2 specific questions that are dealt with in your readings: the differences between qualitative, quantitative, and mixed methods research, and your understanding of the differences between primary and secondary research. In activity 5, you're going to actually be going to a wiki over in Moodle and posting, taking a practice at once you have a sense of what makes a good research question, we want you to kind of practice drafting one. So we want you to think about a topic you may be interested in. And this certainly doesn't going to be your final research question. And I just I want to emphasize that this is meant to be a learning activity, and you're asked to comment on other people's questions. And you'll see that when I comment, I may say, the difficulty with this research question is blah, 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 or here's a couple ways that you could go about this research. And I don't want anyone to think that I'm criticizing what you've submitted. I want to create a learning forum for all of us to be learning about research questions. So we're all going to be responding to each other's questions. And it's not meant to get it right the first time. Okay, after these activities, you'll be moving into assignment 1. And I just want to emphasize about assignment 1 that there's a good, clear description of it. It is a paper that you'll be writing. And a good habit to get into in this course is to review the the grading rubric right here in this chart before you write, and because these are the things that I'll be looking at as I grade your papers. Now, I will say one thing: all the activities that lead up to this paper, I want you to, really take risk if you want to check in with what's personally important to you and you're answering them. In other words, there's quite a lot of space for play in those activities. Here, when you get to assignment 1, I'd like you to give me your best academic writing at this point. And so I really would like you to give me your best writing, because I'm going to use this to kind of assess where you are at this point as you start this course, and whether or not I may reach out to you and you might need some coaching, or I might suggest that you get with the writing center and do X, or I might suggest that you get a buddy to read your papers when you write them. Because what I'm concerned about is getting everyone to a point, or by the end of this course, that you can do have really honed your skills in academic writing and understanding of research. So I need to have something to work with. So a couple things that are going to be very important in this paper is adhering to APA. And you do have some work that we've pointed to in an activity that will help you with that. And really going back and reading your paper out loud so that you catch any kinds of errors and things. And even having somebody else read it is a very good idea. So I want you to give me your best here that you can. All right, let me go back here to Unit 1. You have one final activity, and that is to get with your team and create a small charter, because as we move, and this activity is in preparation for moving into Unit 2, in which you are going to be working as a team on theoretical frameworks. And so I'm asking you to get with your team virtually, and if you click on this link, it's going to take you to Moodle, where I showed you in the introductory podcast that I have put under resources a list of all the assigned teams. And then I'm going to ask you as a team to work to put together a mini team charter. And you're going to do three things with that charter. You're going to use it to guide your own actions in Unit 2. You're going to post it. It'll be part of the contribution to